All right, everyone, welcome back to the Brad and Kyle channel, and today we have a cool video. We're going to be discussing something that Kyle is currently working on in his physical game, and that's the push-away. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm just going to let Kyle kind of take the floor on this one. I'm not even exactly sure what he's about to say. But Kyle, so you're working on your push away. You think it's a very important aspect in your game right now to put some time and focus into. Tell us why and what exactly you're working on.
Yeah, so recently, and I don't know if any of you guys have felt this at home, but in my first two steps, I've been feeling very stuck. It's been really hard for me to get going. Like when I take my first couple steps, I just don't feel like I'm putting myself in a good position to make a good shot. And I was actually working with Coach Daniel, part of our membership. He's my personal coach. And we noticed something that I had a little tendency going on in my push away that hadn't really been there before. And we started working on this concept, and it really helped free up my entire swing, and I can better attack the shot now.
So when you say after the first couple steps, the whole approach afterwards just felt off?
Yeah.
Felt like you couldn't make good shots and accuracy off your hand and all the things that need to happen.
Exactly.
You just didn't feel comfortable.
I couldn't get started. Like I just didn't want to go because in my first couple steps, I just felt off. And when you feel off in those first couple steps,
you're done.
It's impossible to get going. So it's impossible. So let me tell you guys a little bit of what I was working on. So I'll talk a little bit first about what I was doing wrong. And not necessarily wrong, but we think this is what was going on.
It wasn't working for you.
It was not working for me. So when I would get started in my approach, to say I'm ready to go, I was on my first step moving the ball down, and then on my second step, I was bumping it out. Now, what happens is, if I move the ball down, boom, pretend there's an angle there. So that's the first line. And then I'm going out, and then I'm going down. So it's a lot of movement going on in those first couple steps with the push away, and it's like the ball is going down, out, and then back. Well, that's not a smooth overall motion, which is generally what we're looking for. So that's what was happening to me. I wasn't creating a lot of momentum into my swing to feel free, and it was just throwing my timing off. When I have all those little movements going on, it's kind of hard to repeat that as well. So what we worked on was, on the first step, really try not moving the ball, and that's something you guys should all be working on. That first step in a 5-step approach, we really shouldn't be moving that ball a whole lot. But what Daniel had me do is that he would put a finger right here. So Brad, come over here and just put a finger right there.
Okay.
And on my push away, so a little under, right here. Okay. So on my push away, I would go here and just push right over that finger. So now, instead of going down, out, and then back, I'm just making a nice smooth motion. Now this immediately took me a couple shots to get used to it, but really 3 to 4 shots in, I felt my swing just fly back here. I could just walk by my swing and I could throw some shots a lot more consistently because it was a lot smoother. It was one motion. One thing that I've noticed, that anytime your push away isn't smooth and say it goes out and then immediately back, well, like I said earlier, an angle, there's now an angle there. It's not smooth. And anytime you really have that angle going on, it's a point of grab, because now I got to grab it and I got to bring it back. And we don't want grab in our swing. It builds a lot of inconsistency.
Well, it's funny because the push away can totally affect, I mean, everyone has their own little personal push away,
right,
but it can absolutely affect everything else that happens after it. So it's like your release, say you're not releasing it correctly one day and you're not feeling comfortable, your ball reaction's not great or whatever, a change in the push away can actually just affect the rest of the physical game. Everything. The ball going through the pins, the way the ball reads the lane. I mean, and a lot of it could be mental as well. You know, just the idea of, oh wow, now I can actually just walk by my swing. That allows me to free up. My release feels so much better. My balance feels so much better, all because that one little feel, you know, in your second step.
And what's really interesting is we actually teach a lot of people to kind of push the ball down and not out and back.
Yeah.
We teach a lot of people to do this because it creates a little bit more momentum. You can actually get your bag swing a little higher. It's a more efficient push away, less movement. We don't want it to go out. But what I was doing is I was doing it too much. I was really just going like straight down.
So it was getting there too early, causing you to have to push it out a little bit to stay in
Exactly.
time.
So I was kind of going here, and then I was trying to do this thing where I rocked it, and it was just not good. So I actually had to go the other way, which we don't teach a whole lot of people because most of the time people are here and they're pushing directly out. So it was interesting that he told me that because I never really thought that I was doing it too much, but it's possible to do that. So I was taking a good concept of kind of pushing the ball down a little bit, but I was doing it too much, causing this kind of grab motion going on.
That's funny because I think I kind of remember you just like the past couple weeks having that little thing.
Yeah, like
I
this
didn't pay
little
much
thing.
attention to it,
Yeah,
but now that you say it.
It really didn't appear in my game a whole lot beforehand, but then it just kind of happened. And that's really important to stay on top of your game because you may be feeling really good. And I was feeling great. Then all of a sudden I had this little kink in my push away that kind of caused me to have some issues. So
okay, so I want you to do a couple things. I want you to show us the push away that you're kind of getting away from just a little bit. Try and emulate it.
Yeah.
And then I want you to show us the push away that you're trying to achieve.
Okay, yeah, let's get to it. So here I'm going to show you guys the push away that I was doing at first, that what I felt was incorrect and was causing me to have some bad tendencies. So I get set up, and on my first step, my ball was really going down, and then now I'm kind of stuck here, and I was going out like this. So I'll try to do a real shot here for you, what I was doing, but I've been trying to fix it, so I don't know how good I'm going to do. So I was really going. So you can see there that the ball in my first step is going down, and then it's going out, and then it's coming back. And that's what I'm trying to get rid of. So to fix that, and what we started working on was, when I get my setup here, I'm here, and this was actually really enlightening. I've never thought of this before. But I would get in my setup, and I would think about my middle knuckle here. So the middle knuckle, we want that middle knuckle to pretty much be in the center of the ball, holding a lot of the weight. And now I would imagine that taking my first step and that middle knuckle just going right over an imaginary line, not going down, but that middle knuckle. I'm not even worrying about the ball. I'm just focused on my middle knuckle right here. I'm taking that first step, and then it's nice and smooth down. So I'm still not pushing out a ton. It's not what we're trying to create. But I'm just going down a little bit. So let me grab some air. And this is what I'm trying to work on. So I get in my setup. I'm here. I'm thinking about that middle knuckle just going right over that imaginary line right under it. And to me, that has freed up my entire swing. It created a lot more momentum back. So now the swing just gets back here effortlessly. I don't have to grab it to pull back. And now my consistency, my power just went through the roof. I mean, when I made this change originally, I had to move 4 left with my feet because all of a sudden my timing was better. I was hitting the ball a little bit more. Ball was reading the lane the right way. So working on these little tendencies, keeping up to date with your game, they can come into play. Like, I know it's aggravating. You may think you're throwing it great, and all of a sudden this little thing kind of creeps into your game. So I had to go to my coach, Coach Daniel, to look at it, to help me fix it. Another set of eyes is always great. So when you're out there, if you're struggling, please go see a coach and get it checked out because it's extremely important and you never know what you're going to find.
All right, guys, thank you for watching that video. I hope you really enjoyed some of the tips that Kyle shared with us in his own personal journey. If you enjoyed them, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. And before you go, if you guys are looking for some coaching, Kyle, myself, and Coach Daniel, we have a platform. It's called the Brad and Kyle Membership. We'll put a link in the description below. We would love to have you. There's a free 7-day trial that you can sign up for. And if you don't like what you see, you can always get out of it scotch-free. And if you do end up liking some of the things, well, then you can stick around and we'd love to have you. So once again, thank you for watching the video and have a great day.